Who are the seven sisters of Italian football? Called the Sette Sorelle in Italy, these teams were considered the most successful and prestigious during the golden years of Serie A, from the early 90s to the 2006 Calciopoli scandal. Fiorentina, the first Italian club that ever reached the European Cup final, rose from Serie B at the beginning of the 90s to title challengers and Coppa Italia winners, with players like Batistuta, Stefan Effenberg, Brian Laudrup, and the young Rui Costa. Inter did not have a great time during the 90s, despite the league growing in prestige around them. Despite breaking the world transfer record for Ronaldo and Christian Vieri, their UEFA Cup victory in 1998 was the only piece of silverware of the decade. The 90s were the only decade where the club didn't win any domestic trophies. Roma's story of this period was marked by one man, Francesco Totti. As he started to become more and more influential at the turn of the millennium, Roma won their third Scudetto at the end of the 2001 season. Of course, this was helped by the fact that they had Batistuta in their ranks, who scored 20 goals that season. Juventus also had a talisman up front, namely Alessandro Del Piero, who took over from Roberto Baggio during the mid-90s. With him and stars like Zidane, Gianluigi Buffon, David Trezeguet, Pavel Nedved, and Lilian Thuram, this period saw the old lady win 5 league titles and reach 4 Champions League finals, but only winning 1. 1 year prior to Juve's only UCL win of the 90s, Parma had beaten them to the UEFA Cup final. The opposite of Juventus in respects of the type of trophies won, Parma's glory days saw them win 2 UEFA Cups, 1 Cup Winners' Cup and 1 European Super Cup. The Coppa Italia would also be conquered thrice, and it's easy to see why, with managers like Carlo Ancelotti and players like Buffon, Cannavaro, Thuram, Crespo, Zola and Veron all playing for the side. After Parma, Carlo Ancelotti took his European expertise to AC Milan, helping the side become one of the most feared teams in the Champions League history. One man who came to define this age was Paolo Maldini, who, from 1989 to 2007, won 5 Champions League titles and 7 Serie A titles with his beloved Milan. With people nowadays moaning about how the Premier League sides spend more money than whole leagues combined, we need only to look at Lazio's story during the 90s and 2000s. 3 Coppa Italia trophies, 1 league title and 1 European Cup Winners' Cup was all they could manage in the crowded Italian football landscape, despite signing players like Nesta, Nedved, Simeone, Veron, Vieri and Crespo during that time. Let me know in the comments who you think the stronger league is, Serie A in the 90s or the Premier League today.